How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we're checking out a few other units on the movie 8 Trio's lead. And today's video is all about everyone's favorite EZA STR, the STR Kefla. Now, Kefla is not on their 200% lead, but I think it more than makes up for the fact with the access to the support this team is going to give her here. So we're going to test them out against Cell Max, linked next to the movie Hero Trio, just to see kind of, not necessarily in her case, the defensive support, right? Because after all, at the end of the day, she still dodge or die after super. I mean, she can survive a couple normals, which probably with double defensive support would help. But really, we're going to be looking at what the SA effect support is doing for her in terms of her attack. And remember, Kefla is an attack stacker. Oh, look at that. Movie 8 Trio going to eat that super up from Cell Max for 200, 300k. That's pretty good for being type disadvantage here. Now, we are doing the stage 2 of Cell Max. Look at that. She's coming out at 12 million. That's honestly pretty good for being on the 170. We don't have any extra support up yet. And we do get the double super since we did get her orbs. Now, again, we decided to do, would have been nice to get the triple. And we get the dodge. Nice. Ooh, wow. Yeah, okay. So, not so much help there with the single defensive support. Not quite enough after double super. But then again, it is Cell Max, so we can't really hold that against her. But we decided to do this stage because I needed a boss that wasn't too squishy. Because like with Gogeta, I couldn't really stack her up all that much because we were just flying through the phases just a tad bit too quickly. On a double movie, even on a single movie 8 trio, right? Like running them both on Super Saiyans, which I didn't really want to do because then you don't have access to things like Bulma support, and Bulma support basically makes up for not being on the 170 plus the extra defensive support. So honestly, I think in Kefla's case, since she is an attack stacker, it'd still probably be better to run her on a double movie 8 trios lead. Now, the only thing is also, well, actually, no, I think, oh, no, yeah, okay, we're good. And so, all of our floaters will either be movie heroes or all-out struggle in this case. So, we are good on that aspect, to keep that aspect of the trio's passive up. There we go. Alright, so, another... Alright, a lot better this time around, simply because now they're having Bulma support, and now both defensive supports are up. There we go. Alright, Bulma taking double digits here is actually kind of nice. Yeah. Cell Max, I really think, is probably the best place to do this for Kefla, at least until maybe we get a stronger stage in part 2 for maybe the new Supreme Magnificent Metal. But for right now, Cell Max is probably the best stage to test this out, just because like we won't kill him as quickly as we will some of these other fights. Let's see here. Alright, perfect. So we're gonna drop, yeah, we're gonna grab this with the movie 8 trio here. Okay, there we go. We're gonna grab that, so we'll get her orbs in Super Saiyan 2. There we go, and then we'll get orbs with the GT duo. I'm going to try to time it that we can utilize their revive after a couple of turns, but, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. We may or may not get to do that. So this should kind of be a fun turn, right? Because now we're going to have the SA support from these guys, and then, of course, we'll have the Bulma support and the double 77% defensive support here. So this should be pretty good for Kefla here. There we go. We get another super with the trio. And they eat a super again. Yeah, this Cell Max, he loves to attack slot 1 for some reason. Oh, wow. 19 million on turn 2. Yeah, so, you know, with the support buffs up, right, she's She's spinning out of control a lot quicker, right? Turn 2, we're now up to 20 million, which is something that usually took before. I mean, it's not like it took her long to get there, but it's just getting us there a turn sooner. And of course, had we not missed that previous turn of stacking, right? If we'd actually gotten her 3 supers, and of course now gotten her 3 supers, obviously we would see a little bit more out of her in the coming turns. There we go. Again, we'll try to time this with the GT Duo. It may not be perfect coming back here. I'm not sure how close we're gonna get, but I think we should get pretty close to being able to use it. All right, so let's see here. All right, obviously we're gonna float Gohan. That's probably the best case to do here. There we go. Okay, 10 for... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Bulma's not going to need an attack here. But we'll do this. So at this point, we start attacking defense lowering. So we'll start seeing the trio and Bulma start attack lowering at this point. Nice. We get the additional normal. There we go. Alright, so this super is going to lower attack on Cell Max, which means he won't be hitting as hard. But again, for Kefla, not really the thing we're concerned about looking at here when we look at support. Like, a lot of other units, we're looking at the double 77% support for them. But with Kefla, I mean, we know she'll be able to survive most normals with the double 77%. So really, with Kefla in this scenario, compared to other units we've tested under the movie 8 trio, this one we're more looking at how much it helps her offense, which is kind of the big thing for her. There we go. And then Future Gohan just going to do his thing over at the end here. There we go. We get an additional super with Future Gohan. Alright, here we go. Kefla transforming into Super Saiyan 2. So at this point, she's going to be fully built up outside of her stacking. Alright, so we do need to try to get... We still want to try to push the 6 orbs for the Kefla. So looking at this orb field, we're going to be really pushing it here. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Let's take this. Oh, is that not gonna? That's not gonna give us. We should have went with the blue. Okay, well, 5 will still get us our extra supers. We'll just have, I think. Let's look at this. It should still get us our extra supers. High chance of evading the enemy's attack. 2 or more key spheres launches. Yeah, okay, so we'll still get the extra supers here. We just won't have as much dodge. Okay, that's fine. There we go. 17 million on the trio. Alright, let's see here. We should attack lower on this one. So that'll kind of make up for the fact that we're not getting as much defense here, or as much dodge here. There we go. So we're up to 24 million as third appearance. That's honestly pretty good, since again, right, if you remember like our Buu Saga runs that we were trying to do with her on her EZA, right, 25 million is what we were seeing out of her at the end of fights, and that was like really pushing it outside of going into an event where we can stack infinitely. So I mean, honestly, this is pretty good. That number right there is about what I was seeing in Gogeta, because at this point we were pretty much killing the final phase, just because this team can move kind of quickly. There we go. Okay, looking at the health here, though, it might not be able to get... Yeah, let's grab this. We might not be able to get the turn with the GT Duo support on, just kind of looking at how this is going to play out here, simply due to the fact that, I mean, we're already well under half of his HP, and here he goes, supering the 8 trio in slot 1, but we've attack lowered him enough that that does nothing. There we go. Alright, and then we get an additional super for that attack lower. Alright, let's see here. Alright, well, at least we know Bulma's going to be pretty safe here. Plus, she's going to attack lower on her 12 key. We had a few issues doing this run a couple of times where Bulma would eat the super, and even after the attack lower and a couple orbs, it's still kind of rough for her just because her defense isn't quite what it used to be. Still great here for a good support unit, but the supers can cause some problems for her. There we go, we get an additional super. We do have the 24 keys, so it should be easier to get the extra supers with them. We get the crit. Alright, very nice. Okay, perfect. And we get the domain up, too. Does the domain buff her, though? I don't think so. It's only future allies, right? Yeah, okay. Not bad. Okay, let's grab this with the 8 trio. Alright, there we go. We'll get the 6, which means we'll get her full passive. Alright, wow, look at that attack stat. Okay, we'll take that. And future GOHAN gonna wrap it up here. So there goes the super one more time. On the movie 8 trio, at least. That's good. 100k, wow. Alright, here we go. 16 million out of the trio. Alright, so another 12 key for that attack and defense lower on the Cell Max. Alright, so we have the 18 key, so we're given the SA support buff. So where are we at? 24 million, nice. We get a crit. We get an extra super for 26 million, nice. There we go. And 27 million. Wow. Can we squeeze one more in there? Yeah, 28 million. You love to see it. Now, thinking back on it, if we didn't miss those 2 supers, even though we did get the orbs early on, we'd be over 30 million right here. And of course, we would have killed there. So, very, very impressive showing out of Kefla here. My goodness. There we go. Alright, we get an extra super out of GOHAN. If we can get a crit on one of these 12 keys, this actually might finish him. There's one. Okay, last one. Come on, let's do this. Boom. Alrighty. So, wow. There you have it, folks. There is the STR Kefla versus the Fearsome Activation Cell Max Stage 2. I gotta say, I am pretty darn impressive with this unit's performance here. Wow. I mean, again, she's only on the 170 here, and I mean that's the realistic thing about Kefla, right? They're 200%. Like, I don't want to say they're bad, right? But I mean, more often than not, just due to the units available, you're gonna be running her on a 170 more often. If you're running the movie 8 trio, Tech Vegeta, right? Just she's a lot better and has access to a lot better partners. And of course, now with the movie 8 trio, a lot better support units on her 170 leads over her 200% leads. Like, I think for 200%, the only lead she really shares with the trio is the Int Super Saiyan, the Int Super Saiyans. Yeah, that's the only lead they share. But I mean, yeah, you might be able to toss her on the Universal Survival Saga team, maybe with Jiren or PHY GOKU. But, I mean, at that point, you're throwing major reps of Universe 7 characters off the team, which I don't know that you necessarily want to do. But a team like this, where, you know, you're mostly running Super Saiyans, she slides in quite nicely. And they really do help her. I mean, obviously, if you miss the dodge, the double defense support more than makes up for not being on a 200% lead, but also the SA support that the movie 8 trio is giving on their 18 key just helps her stack all that much faster, right? You saw us. We were coming out the gate at numbers that we were normally seeing, you know, midway to end of fight, depending on some of the fights that we were using her in early on post EZA. And then now, even at the end, hitting nearly 30 million. We definitely would have hit 30 million mark if we didn't miss that super early on. But, I mean, it's just crazy how quickly it allows us to hit those numbers compared to before. So, guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know who else do you want to see us run on the movie 8 Trio's lead. And what do you think of Kefla here? Is she a good option you're thinking about running on this team now? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching. And aloha.